Hey, welcome back to the VAIR YouTube channel. And how are you all? I hope you are doing good. All are safe. So, have you started attending the mock test? Mock test देना start कर दिया है, marks नहीं आ रहे. Have you observed that कि score same ही हो रहा है? Confused हो कि marks को improve कैसे किया जाए? बहुत सारे questions थे mind में. So don't worry, now we are on the right platform. So today in this video, we are going to discuss how to improve your marks in the TISSNET mocks. I know आप सब mock test दे रहे हो, बहुत कुछ नया सीखने को मिल रहा है, बहुत सारे नए नए टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं, lot of things are there, but again you stuck at one point कि ma'am I can't improve my marks, my score is the same in all the tests. So how to improve that marks, and specifically in the quant we are going to discuss about the specifically quantitative aptitude section. Okay, so what will be our agenda for this? So that is the agenda only, means we just have to understand that how to improve. तो उसके लिए क्या क्या किया जा सकता है, क्या वे होना चाहिए, what should be the way, how can I improve, what should be my next step, that is all we will discuss in this today's video, and I know it's going to be helpful for you. So don't forget कि last तक देखा जाए, बीच में stop मत करना, because we know that you have to improve your score, right? So let's start. So first thing, we will directly jump to the point. Okay, so first thing is what which we required is a time management. Now time management means what happens, we know that the paper pattern of the TISSNET paper, what we know कि TISSNET में GK होता है, English होता है, quantitative aptitude होता है. Quantitative aptitude also consists of the LR and the DI part also. We know कि marks questions कितने होते हैं, we know that 40 questions are from the GK, 30 questions from the English and 30 questions from the quantitative aptitude. Okay, wait. We know these things, right? From the GK they asked you the 40 questions, from the English they asked you the 30 questions, from the quantitative aptitude they asked you the 30 questions, and marks are also the same. Now I'm assuming that कि आपने already paper pattern देख लिया है, because you are here for the mock test marks, right? अगर आप mock test के लिए जा रहे हो, that means you know the paper pattern. So this is just for your reference, but I'm assuming you already knew it, right? So in this GK, there are the 40 questions, and we know that there are 40 marks for the 40 questions, 30 marks for the English, and 30 marks for the GK. So total are 100 questions for the 100 marks. And what about the time? We get the overall time of 100 minutes, right? What we get? 100 minutes we get. 100 minutes means you can say that 1 hour 40 minutes, or we can say that we get a total of 100 minutes for this. So we have to understand how can I manage this 100 minutes in 100 questions. Are you thinking that कि मुझे 100 minutes मिले हैं तो 100 questions के लिए, so I will take a 1 minute for each question. मीन्स हैव यू अज्यूम दैट कि मुझे 1 मार्क्स के लिए 1 क्वेश्चन के लिए पूरा 1 मिनट ही स्पेंड करना है, बिकॉज 100 क्वेश्चन है तो मुझे 100 मिनट्स ही पूरे चाहिए. So if you are assuming that, then you are totally wrong. You do not have to assume like this. 100 questions are there for 100 marks. We know that 100 minutes, but we have to distribute this time. हम क्या करेंगे, हम इस टाइम को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे, हमारे मैनेज करेंगे. In short, we will manage it. So how can we manage it? मॉक टेस्ट के लिए अप्लाई करोगे तो रियल एग्जाम में भी सेम होगा. सो वी हैव टू मैनेज इट. What we will do, we know that for the GK section we do not require 1 minute for each question. No, we do not require. For 40 questions, for each question 30 seconds is more than enough, because we read the question in a 10 to 15 seconds, and next 15 seconds में मुझे समझ जाता है ऑप्शंस देख के whether I know the answer or I don't know the answer. So you know that. So within a 30 seconds, you can solve a single question of GK. So if you calculate according to this, we know that for this 40 marks, how many minutes you will require? For each question, there is a 30 seconds. That means for 2 questions, you can take a 1 minute. So for 40 questions, you will take the 20 minutes. Okay. You can spend 20 minutes for the GK. Then what about the next? English section. Now in English also, for 30 questions, we do not require 30 minutes. English भी इतना नहीं है कि मुझे हर एक question, because we don't have to solve anything. So we do not require that much time. So you can solve all your 30 questions in a 20 minutes. Is it? So now if you calculate 20 minutes and 20 minutes means you have spent 40 minutes in a GK and English. So आपके पास time कितना remaining है अभी? There will be total 100 minutes out of which you have spent 40. So you have a 60 minutes. Now you will get to know you have a 60 minutes and you have a 30 questions only. That means in a quant, how much time will you get? One question is equal to 2 minutes. मीन्स बहुत बार कंप्लेन आती है कि मैम टाइम ही नहीं मिलता है मैथ्स के क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के लिए. 1 मिनट में 1 क्वेश्चन कैसे सॉल्व होगा? So you get more time if you are able to manage the time. Okay. And even in the quant, I know that कि 1 क्वेश्चन के लिए 2 minutes लगते हैं, but it is not necessary कि हर एक क्वेश्चन पे मैं 2 minutes ही दे दूं. You can manage that time also. If there is a question of series, we know that we can solve the series question in a less than 1 minute or max to max 1 minute. So wahi 1 minute you can use for the DI. That one you can do. Even there are so many questions which are easily you can solve, like a clock ke questions रहते, those are again easy. For we know that that question will be, you can solve that question in a 1 minute. So you can use that 1 minute in other topics. Arithmetic easy hota hai. You can solve few questions of arithmetic in a very less time. And we know that almost 4 to 5 questions ऐसे होते ही है which you can solve in less than 1 minute. So you can use that 5 minute again in a DI or in any maths or any difficult question which is a larger one, which is a lengthier one, or you can say which is a complicated one. So you can use that time there also. So this is how we have to manage the time. Getting the point कि हमें time manage करना सीखना है कि we don't have to spend 2 minutes or 1 minute in a single question. It will be depend on the question कि मुझे कितना time इस question के लिए देना है. And this is how your total 100 minutes you can solve 100 questions in 100 minutes. And you won't say कि मैम मुझसे questions skip हो गए, because always remember, at least for the TISSNET paper we know that there is a no negative marking. So I'm suggesting you that skipping question is not allowed. Don't skip the question. You can mark at the end. आप कुछ भी ABCD करके mark कर दो चाहे तो, अक्कड़ बक्कड़ बम्बे बो. I always says that. So you can use that at the end. If you do not have a time कि मेरे पास अभी 2 ही मिनट से और 10 questions remaining है, now I know that कि 2 minutes में 10 questions नहीं हो पाएंगे, you can mark ABCD something. But we can't skip the question. Why we can't skip the question? Because we know there is no negative marking. So अगर by chance भी correct आ जाता है, then you will get 1 marks. So it will be beneficial for you itself, right? So you don't have to skip the question. So this is what you understand about the time management. Now the next point we will understand, because हम mock के लिए देख रहे हैं, तो ये same आपको mock पे भी apply करना है, okay? This is what I'm talking about the mock test, and it will be same applicable to your real paper also, okay? Now the second point we will jump, which is the mock analysis. आपने mock दे दिया, time manage कर लिया. Now the most important part is a mock analysis. Analysis is the part which plays the vital role. Means एनालिसिस से इंपॉर्टेंट कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. इफ यू आर गिविंग अ मॉक, मींस मैंने ये देखा है कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, बहुत सारे मॉक्स देते हैं, यू अटेंड सो मेनी मॉक टेस्ट, पर उसको एनालाइज ही नहीं करते. सो इट विल बी यूजलेस, इट विल बी कंप्लीटली मींस आप जस्ट आई कैन से दैट यू आर वेस्टिंग योर टाइम. अगर आप मॉक को एनालाइज नहीं कर रहे हो, सिर्फ मॉक दे रहे हो, विच मीन्स यू आर वेस्टिंग योर टाइम. सो मॉक एनालिसिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. ना मॉक एनालिसिस मीन्स व्हाट? Because you have seen, मैं बहुत बार बोलती हूँ, means almost all the time I say is that do the mock analysis is important, mock को analyze किया करो. I always repeat these things, but exactly what happens, what we do in analysis. So in that analysis what you have to do after attending the mock, इसके बाद आपका score card आ जाता है, you can see. Then you have to go through all the papers. Now from all the paper means आप क्या करोगे, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 से लेके सब देखना है आपको? No, not like that. First उसको क्या करना है, सबसे पहले you have to check which are the wrong questions. What will you do here? First you will check where you have makes the mistake. Wrong से में क्या समझता है? You find out your mistakes. कि हम mistakes कहाँ पे कर रहे हैं? Is it a silly error? मैंने फॉर्मूला ही कुछ और यूज कर लिया, मुझे तो क्वेश्चन की कंसेप्ट ही नहीं समझी थी, या फिर मैंने कुछ सिली लास्ट में ऑप्शन बाय मिस्टेक रॉन्ग मार्क कर दिया, सब करेक्ट सॉल्व किया था और एट द एंड मैंने रॉन्ग मार्क कर दिया. Or it happens कि you solve it correctly, but at the end we do not read the given properly what they have asked and we mark the wrong answer. It happens. So you have to check that first, which are your wrong questions. If those are wrong, why are those wrong? Exactly wrong क्यों है? In which step I make the mistakes? Or exactly what happens? What is happening? Means in which topics I am making the mistake? Is that the topic which I have to focus? यही टॉपिक है जो हर बार मैं उसमें मिस्टेक्स कर रही हूँ. Whether I am not clear with the formulas concept कि exactly formula कौन सा यूज करना था, या फिर मैंने फॉर्मूला में ही कुछ मिस्टेक कर दिया, अरे मुझे तो फॉर्मूला ही रिवाइज करना है. So you get all the idea from the wrong questions. So you have to go through all the wrong questions and analyze those wrong questions. Look those questions. Is there any other way? अगर मैं तो इस मेथड से कर रही थी, बट इसके लिए तो कोई और भी शॉर्ट ट्रिक वे. Is there any extra thing? So I can go through that. So you have to check all the wrong question first. After you check all the wrong questions, then you have to check extra time question. एक्स्ट्रा टाइम क्वेश्चन में क्या आएगा, देखो जैसे जो क्वेश्चंस राइट थे उसमें आपने टाइम भी कम यूज किया है, यू हैव सॉल्व इट इन अ करेक्ट टाइम, सो इट्स नॉट नीडेड टू चेक बिकॉज यू नो दैट कि इसमें यही आता है, बट यू कैन चेक इट. बट फर्स्ट आपको क्या करना है, दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि एक्स्ट्रा टाइम क्वेश्चन, दैट यू हैव टू चेक द क्वेश्चन जिसमें मैंने बहुत ज्यादा टाइम ले लिया, द क्वेश्चन व्हिच आई हैव टेकन मोर देन 40 सेकंड. मुझे वो सारे क्वेश्चंस देखने जिसमें मैंने 40 सेकंड से ज्यादा, या फिर अगर लार्जर क्वेश्चन है तो 1 मिनट से ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड किया है. यू विल review all those questions. So why is it? Then you have to analyze it. If I am taking a more than 40, if I am using a more than 1 minute, then you have to search for why. कि ये क्यों हुआ है? Why I have taken this much time? Is there any shortest way? You have to check is there any short trick for this question so that I can save my time? और अगर मुझे कुछ एक्स्ट्रा टाइम लगा, it happens sometimes that you spend 2 to 3 minutes on a single question and still you haven't solved it. Still it was wrong. It happens. So you have to analyze those things. If I'm spending a 2 to 3 minutes, which is not allowed actually, if I'm spending more than 2 minutes on a single question and still I'm making mistake in it, then it's completely time waste. You do not have to do it. And I know ये first mock में नहीं होगा. That's why I always says कि बहुत सारे mocks दो और उसको analyze करो. कि analyze करके you understand कि no, I have wasted this much time in a single question. Instead of that, I can solve other questions in that time. So we get the idea. हम थोड़ा serious हो जाते हैं इन सब से. So you have to check all the extra time questions and you have to search a why. On this why, how, and how I can improve it. If once you get the why, then you can check how you can improve it. And third is a skipped question. Now see, as I says in the TISS, we don't allow for the skip question. Because we know that कि at least no negative marking नहीं है तो मुझे सारे के सारे questions attend करने ही है, but in a mock it happens कि we see that. Means what happens, see, out of the 100 questions, 100 minutes में sometimes we solve only 80 questions. Or if I'm talking about the math specifically, okay, out of the 30 questions you get to know that कि 30 में से मैंने 20 questions देखे, बाकी के 10 questions मुझे देखने के लिए भी टाइम नहीं मिला है. That's why I have skipped those questions. It happens कि मेरे पास टाइम ही नहीं था कि मैं 12 questions को go through भी कर लूं, at least उस questions को read कर लूं. Never do these things. You have to see each and every question in the paper. हर एक question को एक बार read करना ही है. At least you have to read. After reading the question, we get to know whether I am able to solve this question or I can't solve this question. So I have to skip, but before skipping, I will mark something akkad vakkad bambe wo. Then only I will go for the next question. Otherwise, we can't afford to skip the question in the TISSNET paper. So this is not allowed. So if you are skipping the question in a mock, so please go through it. क्यों skip हो रहा है? Find out the reason. क्यों हो रहा है? Whether टाइम ही नहीं मिल रहा है या फिर सॉल्व करके नहीं आ रहा है, दैट वन इज एक्सेप्टेबल कि मैंने ट्राई किया, सॉल्व किया, बट फिर भी मुझे नहीं आया, देन आई एम स्कीपिंग, दैट आई कैन एक्सेप्ट, बट इट इज नॉट अलाउड. आई एम जस्ट सेइंग दैट इट इज एक्सेप्टेड कि ठीक है आपने एटलीस्ट क्वेश्चन को देखा, बट स्किप करना इज नॉट अलाउड. यू मस्ट हैव टू attend the question. ABCD कुछ तो mark करना ही है. So what happens in a mock analysis, getting the question, and again you have to go through the right questions also. But when you will go through all these questions, I know that आप एक बार right question से भी अपने आप चले जाओगे. Means whenever you will see the wrong questions, there will be the wrong. Whenever you will see the extra time questions, उसके थ्रू भी आप राइट में जाओगे, and at the end you can see the right question. अब right questions क्यों देखने हैं? Because you have to check कि I have used this method. Suppose I have this method A. Okay, I'm using A method, but I'm going through this right question and I get to know that कि इस question के solution में तो मैम ने B method देके रखा है, or in this solution there is a B method which is a more easier, which is a less time consuming, which I required a less time, so I can go through that. But as I know that less time lag raha hai, which means you have taken a more time ले रहा है, मतलब ये question आपके extra time में आ. So this is how we have to analyze the complete mock. Repeating again, wrong questions check करने, then find out the wrong questions कौन से, what is the reason behind the wrong, what can be and how can I improve it, extra time question, why I have taken this much time, can I improve it, that one you have to check. Extra time, sometimes it happens कि कुछ extra time questions है, still I am skipping it. That also when don't do this, okay? And the last one is the skipped question. Whichever questions you have skipped, you have to go through all those questions. And after that, without timer, पूरा paper एक बार फिर से solve कर लो. At that, what you have to do? Solve whole mock. Solve whole mock. पूरी की पूरी mock. Okay, sorry, ये properly visible नहीं है क्या? Solve mock. Okay, at the end you have to solve the mock again. कि पूरे के पूरे mock से एक बार फिर से solve करके देख लो. Is there any other way or something? You will get the number of things there. Okay. And the last point, video is a shorter, don't worry. Last point is improve accuracy and the speed. So here you have to check how can I improve my accuracy and how can I improve my speed. So accuracy is important. कि आप कर रहे हो, बहुत कुछ कर रहे हो, but आप wrong कर रहे हो, waste है. It is useless. So you have to solve it correct also, right? So accuracy, and again you are solving all right. कुछ mistakes नहीं कर रहे, but you are solving too much slow. बहुत आराम से 5 minutes, 3 minutes एक question पे ले रहे. That is also wrong. So we have to improve these things. In this, what first is what best approach to solve the question. You have to find out the best approach. किस question को read करने के बाद I will use the best approach. किसे कैसे solve करता है? Read it carefully, understand the given, understand what they have asked, and then try to solve it with the best approach, so that you won't waste your time in other approaches कि ये करके देख लो, वो भी करके देख लो. That is, we don't have that much time. So question को ऐसे read करो ना कि reading के time पे ही आधा solution दिमाग में हो जाना चाहिए. What I am saying, at the time of reading the question, while reading, have solution or at least the given, the formula, what I have to use, what method I am going to use, how can I going to I'm going to solve it. ये पूरा का पूरा at least इसका एक picture brain में clear होना चाहिए. I'm not saying in a pen and paper or the paper using it, but at least in a brain you should be clear by reading the question, and you have to use the best approach to solve each and every question. For the best approach, what can you do? You can use the short tricks. So you have to learn the short tricks. Okay, learn short tricks. And now itself, mock test में ही short tricks apply करोगे तब जाके real exam में होगा. Otherwise, it won't happen. So from now itself, you have to do. Then avoid silly mistake. These things happens most of the time. Almost all the times. I have seen the almost all the times. So you have to avoid the silly mistake. For this, you have to be, what can I say? You have to be that much, means आपको इतना ज़्यादा proper उस way में, means whenever you are giving a mock, like what can I say, आप जब भी mock देने बैठते हो ना, तो you have to take care that there is no any disturbance. You are completely there कि yes, not like मैं यहाँ पे mock दे रही हूँ, मेरे दिमाग कहीं और कहीं पे trip पे चला गया. It should not happen. So you have to avoid this silly mistake in a mock also, in the real exam also, while preparing also. For everywhere, always try to avoid it. And it happens because exam में क्या करते हैं ना, question is easier, but at the end थोड़ा सा twist करके देते हैं. So that in the solution you solve it correctly, but at the end whatever they have asked, we do not read it carefully and we marks the wrong answer. So you have to avoid the silly mistakes. Then do not spend too much time on a single question. नेवर 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 डू दिस. एक क्वेश्चन के लिए 2 मिनट्स के ऊपर तो कभी जाना ही नहीं है. नेवर गो ऑन, नेवर स्पेंड मोर देन 2 मिनट्स ऑन अ सिंगल क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज वी नो दैट अगर इस क्वेश्चन को स्किप कर दो मीन्स अकड़ बकड़ बम्बे वो यूज करके नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे चले जाओ. देन वी हैव सो मेनी क्वेश्चंस इन अ लाइन. We have 100 questions in the line and we are spending a 5 minutes on a single question. It is a waste, isn't it? So you don't have to spend too much time. Solve it in a less time. What can you do कि 2 minutes के ज्यादा नहीं जाना है, चलो next question पे चले जाते हैं. So this is what you have to do. Then the practice with timer. While practicing now itself, before going for the mocks also, whenever you are practicing, always try to solve with the timer so that in the mock also हमें pressure नहीं आ जाता. Otherwise what happens, we have a pressure, मुझे 100 minutes में 100 questions solve करने हैं, 100 minutes में 100 questions solve करने हैं. So these things happen. So you don't have to, so you have to practice with the timer from now itself, so that at the end it won't create any problem, आपको pressure नहीं होगा. And the last one is the sectional test. Before going for the mock test, if you are saying, if you see that कि मेरा mock test में बहुत ज्यादा 100 questions solve करने में time लग रहा है, confidence जा रहा है, I can't solve it, so you can go for the sectional test which is having a timer, so that slowly instead of going for 100 questions, try with the 10 marks sectional test, 20 marks sectional test, 30 marks sectional test, and slowly improve your marks, improve your score. Okay, so these are the points which you have to take care while giving the mock test. And that's all. I hope you have get the clear idea and it was useful for you. If you find out it useful, then share with your friends also, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe the channel, and see you again in the next part. Bye bye, take care and stay safe.